So Mercedes Varnado, star of The Mandalorian. She's in the Star Wars universe, also known as Sasha Banks.
Oh yes, I've heard of her.
Yes, it looks like she might be at Wrestle Kingdom coming up in January. What do you think about this? And
That's wild, man.
that's
That's
like
wild.
so PW Insider broke the story today. When I first read it, I was like, this is okay, maybe she's just wants to go see the show and maybe she's got friends there. But people are like talking like she's gonna be on this fucking show. And one of the things I heard was wrestling Kairi.
Well, she's that's not been announced, but it's possible because they want. I don't know. Boy, this is when you need Scott. The other Scott. That's not
Scott Edwards.
Not taking E Scott. I don't know. Like that's a big match for New Japan, quite frankly.
Yeah,
and
that's like when Chris Jericho went over there to wrestle Omega. That's kind of like something that really could get New Japan cooking again. You know what I mean?
Agreed. I think that. I know, like a lot of people, I saw someone go, well, this clearly is, WWE working with New Japan. I'm like, they're not working together.
No.
And then she's got all those trademarks out now. Like I don't want to, okay, I was told by a friend that they released her a long time ago.
Yeah. But they're just
now again, he's not that he was like, I think she's gone is what he said. I think that she's gone, but it was one of those. But, we heard that, well, she's not doing anything until 2023. Well, January 4th, 2023. It would not surprise me to see her doing whatever she wants because, and I'll say is, I think she was underutilized in the WWE.
I think for years she was one of their top people, and then for whatever reason, they just trailed off of her.
Yeah.
And they focused on Becky and Charlotte and Ronda, and she got left behind. She absolutely did.
Even when she was pushed, like she never successfully defended, like she'd win the title, but she always lost it in the first defense. And it always felt like, man, she's like the star here, but like it never really got, and like maybe it's because she was not afraid to like speak out of turn. Right.
Right.
So I don't know, man. Again, people raved about her in The Mandalorian. She has like 2 lines. Like
I know.
like hold your horses on this one before we anoint her the next great crossover star. Like, and she was okay. But again, acting is hard and that takes time to get good at that. Remember you saw the Scorpion King, right?
Yes.
Do you see The Mummy Returns?
Yeah, the Mummy. It was like a big difference between the Mummy Returns Rock and Scorpion King Rock.
It was Mummy Returns.
And then I think he went to Walking Tall was like I think right after that, and by the time he was in Walking Tall,
the Rundown was before
the Rundown.
Johnny
Knoxville. So by the time he did the Rundown, you're like, I think this guy's got something.
Mm-hmm.
I think this guy's got something. And it wasn't Johnny Knoxville. It was what was the guy from American Pie?
Stifler.
Yeah, Stifler.
I can't.
Yeah.
Sean something. It is a good movie. It's a very underrated little action film, but it took him a decade of doing that consistently until he got like embedded because he took a lot of weird roles. Like it took him a while to figure out what he was as an actor. It turned out he was what we all thought he was going to be originally, an action star. But it took a while. And so like these things can take a while. I think that if she is outside the WWE system, Japan, maybe AEW, maybe even a hiccup in Impact. I doubt Impact could pay her, but it'd be fun to see her. It would be fun to see her and Deanna. That would be a fun match. Right.
Yeah, I think JD and Mike would be on Impact before Sasha Banks.
We know people. It's possible. No, I mean, I think that I had to tie that back into the show. I think that she could have a lot of freedom to do her own thing, by just because I don't want to say she's bigger in the business, but I think she knows her worth and knows how to market herself a little bit. Because she's been like her image has been in a lot of places. A lot of places.
She is definitely good at getting her image and logo out there. It's almost like she has somebody in her family who is also very good at that could have mentored her.
Bow Wow?
Snoop Dogg. It's her cousin.
I know.
Okay.
Okay. I was kidding.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that if she shows up. Okay, here's my other question. This is a Justin question. Does the New Japan audience know who Sasha Banks is? Because again, it's different. It's a different audience.
It is. It is, and the New Japan audience doesn't really watch women's wrestling because they don't have it,
No.
and not a
Right.
lot of the New Japan audience watches Stardom. Stardom has their own unique audience,
Mhm.
right? And now, because the Stardom matches, like for the first couple times I saw them on New Japan, it's not that they didn't get over, but it was just kind of like it didn't really seem like people cared all that much. You know what I mean?
It's
So
like, you know what it reminds me of? Remember when Great Sasuke and Taka Michinoku showed up in WWF in
yes,
'97, and people were
yep,
like, "What is this?" Right? Because WWF
yeah,
fans, especially in that era, were very insular and they only watched WWF. And I think New Japan fans can be very similar to that. And the reason why Stardom is working with New Japan, like in this IWGP women's title thing, is because New Japan wants to get some of those Stardom fans watching New Japan. Because again, they're
right,
different audiences.
hmm
So I don't know. And again, I don't know. I don't know. People like, oh, of course they're gonna go crazy for her. I don't I don't know that.
yeah,
I don't. I
yeah.
don't know that I don't know that's gonna happen. But it's interesting.
No. Yeah, very interesting. I'm excited to see it. Wrestle
Yeah,
Kingdom's going to be a huge show, and maybe there'll be an Impact influence. Maybe Bay and Austin will be there,
I hope so. I hope so.
challenging for the IWGP Junior Tag Team titles. But
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be a good match if that happens.
JD, you are a tired old man. It's time for you to go to sleep, sir. Let's
Thank you,
call this
sir.
one a night.
I
Let's call this
appreciate
one a
that.
night. Hey, until next week, everybody. Mahalo.